Uh, mm, uh, 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 uh. No. Uh, 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 yeah. Uh, 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 Hey everybody, how are you? Let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice clearly, if you can hear the piano clearly. Hola Gustavo Rosa Viera desde Uruguay. Okay, cool. Okay, bien. Hey Keith, how are you? Hey Boston, how are you? Let's see, Hazel Gallegos? Gallegos? I mean, I'm studying like you said. I'm making huge progress. Cool. Shirley, how are you? Glad you could join us. Elisha, hey, thanks for being on. Let's see who else. Sam, thanks for being on. Christian, Eric from Oakland, cool. Cesario Fuller, that's fun to listen to. Hey, Noriko. Zihao Wong. All right, come on in. Come on, we're going to get started in just a moment. Letting everybody. Hey, Josh. Uh, 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 uh. All right, Taylor Sana Walker, Jonathan Jacob. All right, all right. Well, uh, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we are helping musicians improve. And so, if this is if you're joining us through the live stream, thank you so much for being on with us live. You make it that much more fun teaching. And if you're watching the replay, well, thank you so much for checking out our video. Today's video is going to be a fun one. Uh, Today's video, we're going to be talking about delayed resolutions. And so, let's not waste any time. Let's get started. All right, so I want to approach this topic from a couple different points of view, maybe two. Um, I was I was literally working with a student in those students that I'll just share with you. Those students that purchase one of our courses, one of our premium courses. One of the things we do is we give them a year of weekly meetings with me. Um, And so I normally have my weekly meetings on either Wednesday or Sunday. So I was having one today, and in that weekly meeting with those students, I came across an idea, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it with you all. So, a shameless plug. So, one of the advantages of getting one of our premium courses, you get a ton of hours of material, but you also get a year of study with me, where I'm with you every week. Um, I'm working with you and checking your homework, giving you new ideas. So there's a ton of value there. So if you're interested in purchasing one of our courses, I definitely encourage you to do so because they're phenomenal. But I was working with him and I came across this idea. Um, I do cover it a little bit in one of our courses. Normally, I don't really share stuff that I teach in the courses, but I um, I wanted to share this one idea. And this idea is delayed resolutions. I came across it maybe, I don't know, uh, a number of years ago where I really started to formulate this idea and really get it codified in my mind about how to do delayed resolutions. I was listening to Corey Henry and these guys and trying to wrap a framework around how they play. I generally like to wrap frameworks around how people play, and so I want to share this idea, and I'll try not to keep you here all night long. All right, but let me just make sure I speak to everybody. You know, from the South, we speak to everybody. So let me see who else have I missed. Kabbalah, hey, how are you? Joshua Blair. Let's see. Eric Cunningham, thanks for being on. Zane, thanks for being on. Lungisi Bongo, I think I pronounced that right. Forgive me if I pronounced it wrong. Sam, what's going on? Missed you today. Freshums, good to see you. Okay. So, this idea of delayed resolutions. All right. Now, let me know in the chat. What do you think delayed resolutions are? What do you think it is? What do you think it is? What do you think I mean? All right. Mm. Mm. All right. So let me first demonstrate this on this song "Amazing Grace." So I'll tell you what. I'll write the chord changes on the screen really quickly, just so everybody. And I'm going to be in the key of C. So let's see. See if I can do this. All right. So I'm going to write the chord changes for "Amazing Grace." So they are C, C, F, C, and then I do A minor, D7. Let's do G sus to G7, and then we come here to the third line. We come to C. It looks like the first line, and I'm just going to focus in on this. Sorry about that. I'm gonna focus in on this transition from the G7 to the C. So from the G7 to the C. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you can see that well on the screen. So, uh, all right, so here we go. Let me just play through it. The first three lines of Amazing Grace. So, I'm in the key of C. Amazing Grace. I'm not a singer. How sweet the sound. That's like me. I once was. All right, so there we go. Now, delaying resolutions. I'm going to talk about it in two different ways, but here's the first way. Really simple. It's a powerful idea. Corey Henry is like a master of this idea. So we're going to delay the resolution of this G going into the C. Um, so instead of, so let me pull a different color out. Instead of resolving to the C, I'm going to do it in orange. I'm going to stay on this G. So instead of playing C, I'm going to stay on the G and resolve it to C here. Do you see that? So I'm delaying the resolution. All right. So let me let you hear how that sounds. So here we go. Now, I'm supposed to go to C, but I'm going to G. Did you hear that? All right. Did you hear that? I'll do it again. Let me turn the keyboard up a little bit. All right. So here we go. One more time. Could you hear the what it did to the music? So because we didn't resolve where we're supposed to resolve, you feel this longing even more so to resolve. It's a powerful tool, and if you uh, harness it well, then it can really create some powerful effects. I'll play it one more time. So. Uh, uh, yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Now, one thing I did do, you might have noticed, I did that G. I stayed on the G, but I did it in first inversion. I could have done it. I could have stayed on the G there, but I just kind of wanted to give it like a different sound, but still give it the still G, but slightly different sound. Okay. All right. Now, some of you might be asking the question, uh, can you, let's see, I think Benjamin Spriggs is asking the question, what about delaying resolutions using inversions? Like going from G7 to first inversion C instead of, uh, uh, so using inversions. And that's a little bit of a deeper idea. But even in that idea, you're still resolving from G to C. Now, the amount that the resolution happens, um, it changes. Because if you resolve to C, that feels like home. But if you resolve to first inversion C, that doesn't feel like home all the way. It's home, but it's it's okay. So but we're resolving still. So the whole idea is delaying the resolution. Um, Not so much focused on um, which type of resolution. But that's definitely an idea to explore, right? Which inversion yields which which kind of resolve. But this whole concept is about delaying the resolution, right? Um, let's see. One more time for those that have just come in the room. Welcome. Um, hmm, um, mm, 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 eh, uh. All right. So this is one idea of this delaying the resolution. Let me approach it from another way. So let me do a different example. I go to a different key as well. So let's do we were doing this song this past Sunday. Jehovah is your name. But the ending of it. So it's in the key B flat. We're in the key B flat, so like 5, so B flat, and then we're gonna loop it. So we're gonna go to 6, and then come back to 5, and then go to 6. So when I'm saying these numbers, if you're new or younger, new to piano, you're just starting out and trying to find information. When I'm referring to when I say the numbers, is the actual scale degrees and the chords that apply to those. So if I was to just do 3-finger chords or triad chords on each note of the scale, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see 5 is B flat, 6 is C minor. So all I'm doing is when I say the 5 and 6, I'm just saying B flat major and then C minor. All right, so here's B flat major and C minor. Okay. All right. So it just loops. Jehovah is your name. But one thing we like to do, especially in gospel, is add a passing chord. So Jehovah is then your name. Do you hear that? Jehovah is Let's kind of B diminished 7, or you can think of it as G7 flat 9. Either way. All right, so let me write this on the screen so we have this there as a frame of reference. Okay, so we're gonna do B flat, and we're gonna do a passing chord. So we'll call it B diminished. We'll say B diminished 7, 4 diminished 7, or G7 flat 9. Either one. And then we resolve to C minor 7. Okay. So we have B flat, then. All right, and so let's talk about the rhythm too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we have the B flat is on beats. Let me do a different color. The B flat is on beats 1, 2, 3. This hits on beat 4, and then this comes on beat 1 again. All right. So now, there we go. So Jehovah is your name. Right. And you might see me add another chord. I'm adding a F7 on the end. So I'll go ahead and put that on there just so everybody has that. I'm adding an F7 on the end to kind of bring us back to the B flat. And I'll add my repeat signs. So, you know, we're just looping over and over again. And these 2 dots here mean repeat. So we're just repeating over and over again, that little cycle there. Okay. So Jehovah. So I'm on B flat, then B diminished 7, C minor, then F. And it's kind of rootless F. I can put the F down in the bottom, but sometimes I play it rootless. All right. So everybody's understanding. Now, I want to delay going to that B diminished or that G7 flat 9. So, so I'm going to proceed that. Let's call it a G7. That'll just be easier, and that'll make it easier for everybody. So let's call it a G7 flat 9. Yep, let's do that. All right, G7 flat 9, and that's on beat 4. Okay, cool. So we have that. So now I want to delay going to the G7 flat 9. So I'm going to move this to maybe the and of 4, which means I need something that happens on beat 4. So maybe and I'll make it a 2-5-1. So this is like 5 to 1 here. This is like a 5 to 1 progression here. So maybe I'll put a 2 in front of it. So I'll try D half diminish 7 to the G7 flat 9 to C minor 7, right? And keep the B flat here and the F7 on the end. So now I have this kind of 2-5-1 deal. And so I've moved this G7 to the and. So Jehovah is. Do you see it? There's the D minor 7 flat 5. And then there's my G7. So I'm just delaying going to the G7. Alright, so alright. So and now we're gonna kind of have some fun. What if I start delaying further? What if before the D I go to A? And you notice I'm moving by fifths, so I do a something, maybe A7 of some sort, going into this D half diminished 7, and then to the G7 flat 9. Then I finally hit the C minor 7, and then F7, and then B flat. So now I have this So I'm delaying going to that G7 even further. So here it goes. That's how you get a lot of notes. Do it again. Um, do you see that? So Jehovah is A7, D half diminished 7, G7 flat 9, C minor. Does that make sense? So I'm delaying going to that G7. I'm adding more chords in front of it before I actually get to the G7 resolving. And then I could even delay resolving the C minor if I wanted to. But let's not go that far. Let's see. All right, let's go even further. This is going to be interesting. So we have the B flat here, and I think I'm running out of room on my, so let me see. Let me scroll up. So here we go. So I got a little more room here. Let's do B flat. Now let's proceed this A7 by E7. So E7, A7, D half diminished 7, G7, flat 9. Going to this C minor, and then the F7 repeats. And can y'all see the F7 over there? It's right there. So the F7's repeating. Sorry, I'm in the way. I'll try to slide out the way so you can see that. There you go. Okay. So that's a lot of chords. And remember, we started with this kind of 4-chord progression up top. And you see that? The B, the G, the C, the F. And now we're kind of... So I'm going to see if I can get all this in here. We'll see if I can. Yeah. So here's my E. I'm doing an E7, and I have a flat 9 and the 13 in there. So Jehovah, yeah, I went to there. Oh man, I should have gone. So again, I have it here on the screen. Can you see it? So I'm starting on B flat. But then I go to the E. And let me move it up so you're not conflicting here. So I have. So I'm going to starting on B flat. I'm going to E. No, this is the E with flat 9 and 13. Those are just tensions, but it's an E7, right? And then A7 of some sort. Then D half diminished, which is D minor 7/5, and then G7 flat 9. Or any alteration. You might simply do flat 9 and sharp 11 or something. And then C minor, whatever alterations you're using. And then F7. So those are the chords. So I do it again. Uh, and so let me try it again. Uh, 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 hmm. Hmm. Oh, I just had an idea. Um, mm, I could proceed the E7 by the E flat, same voicing, and do chromatic passing chord. So if you haven't watched the 9 passing chords video I did, um, definitely check that out because I'm pulling some concepts from there as well. So. Jehovah, Jehovah. I wonder why I'm choosing certain voicings. Um, the melody is driving this voicing, so the melody is Jehovah is your name. So I'm trying to make my voicing stick to that melody. Jehovah, even when I do something out, used to hear the Jehovah is Jehovah is your name. Jehovah. Ah! Jehovah. Hmm. All right. Okay. All right. So that was a lot there. But this whole idea of delaying going to a chord, and it doesn't matter. It could be a landing chord like we did in the first example with Amazing Grace, or it could be a passing chord. In this case, we use the B diminished or the G7 flat 9 as our chord that we're going to delay going to. Um, but either way, it makes for really cool progressions. Now you have to use this with taste, but let me delete this off the screen. Um, but it really makes for really cool chord progressions. Um, all right, so let me go to the questions. All right, Cesario Fuller says you add a lot of tensions to your chord building up to the resolve. Does that add to the concept, or is that your personal choice? Both. Um, it's when you want to resolve something, the more tension that you have makes the resolution that much more dynamic, right? If I'm on a roller coaster and we're about to resolve, get to the end or get to the bottom, like what makes that bottom even sweeter is how steep was the descent, how tense was it going up, how high, and then we get to resolve down here. So, but then, so I'm definitely thinking um, more tension makes the resolve even more dramatic. But then also, I do like those voicings. Um, I do like to add, some flavor, some seasoning into the voicings. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see. Fresham says that was amazing. All right, thanks, Freshams. Let's see. Austin says, "Hey, glad I made it. Glad you're here, Austin." Zane says, "What are those colorful things you do?" Um, Saying, tell me more. I wanna make sure I'm answering your question right. So tell me more. What do you mean? What are you referring to? All right. So Benjamin says it's definitely a rabbit hole to fall down and figure out how many ways you can go home, but not quite home in progression. Yeah, this is the beauty of music. We can go, we can arrive to our destination so many different ways, and there are so many different vehicles to get there. So it's important to um, make sure you explore them, um, and see how many different ways you can. So, like, if I was going to the store, for instance, I could drive my car. I could, maybe in my younger years, ride a bike, or ride a skateboard, roller skate. I could run, walk, skip. I could Uber, call a taxi. Any of these things, right? Right. Oh, thanks, Brian. Life of Brian for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Do you use any variations um, of the Barry Harris diminished sixth, like for chord changes, modulations? E flat, E A, E flat, E A, D. Okay. Life of Brian, Barry Harris. There have been a couple influences on my playing. The two biggest influences ever um, is Barry Harris and Keith Jarrett. Those are the two big influences on my playing. Um, they actually are both jazz guys. Um, and then as far as gospel is concerned, probably the biggest influence is probably Eric Miller. Probably Eric Miller. Um, and then there are a few other guys that really influenced me. Um, So I definitely use the Barry Harris diminished six thing, and I spent a lot of time studying that and kind of creating my own system around that. So I took his idea and then really, like, I spent many months just doing nothing but diminished six all day, every day. So you couldn't believe, like, all day, every day diminished six stuff. Um, and you definitely hear that in my playing everywhere. Um, so E flat, E A, D. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about. All right, so I did an E flat. Um, this is my pass. So let me do my whiteboard again. So I'm trying to get to C minor. And so I'm going to get to the G7 flat 9. Um, I'm going to see that by a D7 something, or a D half diminished 7. I'm going to see that by A7. I'm going to proceed that by E7. And then I added an E flat 7. So this E flat 7 is a chromatic passing chord into the E7. So I'm doing chromatic pass. So all I'm doing is whatever chord I was doing on the E7. So I was doing this on the E7, E7 at 13 and the flat 9, right? So I just did that same voicing a half step lower. Right? So Jehovah. that's, that's such a great sound. All right, so yeah, that's where that comes from. Eh. Hmm. Yeah. So thanks again, Brian, for the Life of Brian for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Enrico says, I understand that it's circle of fifth going down, so each 2/5 could be tritones. Yes. So this is where we start getting into the rabbit hole. I could have tritone subbed all of those. Let's see. Let's. Huh, this will be interesting. Let's do it. So let's do, instead of the A7, let's do the tritone sub of that, which will be a E flat 7, right? Instead of G7, we'll do a D flat 7. Sorry for my handwriting. My handwriting is terrible. All right. So, okay. So let's try it again and add some tritone subs. I do my pass. You see? Go a little higher. Here's my E, E flat, D, D flat, C minor. All right. So yeah, you can definitely tritone sub these, and that works too. That's amazing. And there's so many more alterations you can do, and really just it becomes this. So you end up with so many different possibilities. One of the things I really want to encourage students, because I know what I felt. I felt like this is the way you play it. So, if you're and I would stick there, like, and I was like, man, however many times we looped that 100 times, every time it would be the same thing. Sorry. And I was like, there has to be more to this than just, and so, if it always be thinking there's more that you can do, because there are more answers. That don't ever get stuck, thinking this is it, this is all this is all there is. Because there's so much more that you can do that you're not doing. But the moment you say, what else is there? It opens your mind up to start thinking, and kind of opens you up to hear new things. But if you kind of close yourself off to it and say, this is it, then you don't grow. And I kind of want to open you up and say, hey, there's more you can do. All right, so let me see. There's another question. This might be off the topic, but what is the theory of major seventh chords? And how would you recommend using them? The theory of major seventh chords. I think I understand what you're meaning to say here. Just a major seventh chord is just adding a fourth voice onto a triad. So if I have a C major triad, you add the seventh. Where does the seventh come from? It comes from the major scale. So if I know the C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 3, 5, 7. And where would you use them? Any place you use C major. It's a color that you add to C major. Like the same way if you get a hamburger, you add ketchup. It's a color you add to the hamburger, or a flavor. So, yeah. So you have to know your major scales. If you don't know your major scales, then um, um, it helps to so you can form these major seventh chords, to know your major scales and know which note is the seventh degree of the scale to add to your major triad. So C Fanatic Record says, hey Corey, when going from a 1 chord to a 4 chord, I normally do 3 half steps, walk down from the 6th. Okay, cool. That works. Um, Here's what I tell my students, Fanatic Records. Um, Try to find 20 ways to do it. So that's one way. Find 19 more. Um, all right, Braxton says, what video would you recommend for someone looking to learn more about incorporating accidental chords? I'm not sure what you mean by accident. Well, I think I know what you mean by accidental, but they're very much intentional, meaning on purpose, but not accidental at all. I would recommend the non-passing chords video. Um, that is actually probably our most popular video, and definitely one that covers like lays a great foundation for adding these type of sounds. So let me put that in the chat. So there's the link to that. All right. Does my mic still have a hum? Is it still there? So any more questions, y'all? Any more questions? Let's see, Keith, are you still on? All right, so Alan Wong asks, do people do early resolutions then? Early resolutions. Sure. You can resolve early. For sure. All the time. Mm. Nathan says, Keith, tell me your thoughts on this. What do you think about this topic, Keith? That we're talking about delaying resolutions. Um, so Nathan says, what are some materials for intermediate players to practice? Well, Nathan, I have to know what you're looking to do. Um, One, what are you looking to accomplish? Two, um, what do you mean by intermediate? Uh, Kevin, I do have a video about runs and these things. At least one video. Uh, it's called Three Scales Every Musician Should Know, and I talk about different ways to play them as well. So these are probably the three scales I use the most out of all the scales. Here's a link to that video. Um, Good voicing versus bad voicing in a given context. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe I can do a video on that. That's a that's a good topic, Austin. I think I might do a video on that. Great. Great suggestion. Thank you so much for the suggestion. That's a really cool topic. All right. So hey Keith, what are your thoughts on this? All right. So Keith says great idea, especially with worship songs that can loop over and over. This keeps it interesting. That's true. Keith says I'm stealing your idea about telling students to learn 20 ways to do it. Yeah. And the secret for all of you all, I have a number of people who are on the live stream who are actually piano teachers. Um, the whole idea is to, you know, one, you have your stock things that you do, and so it's easy, for whatever level you have your level of stock things. So, say for instance, your level at your current level, you have 10 things you could rattle off easily, 10 ways to play it. Um, well, then I would say 20 to force you to go beyond your current limit, right? So if there's someone whose limit is like 5, then I'll say give me 10 ways, right? If there's someone whose limit is like 2, then I'll say give me 5 ways. So it it varies, Keith, because if their limit is 2 currently, doing 20 is like they'll quit. All right, Kevin Robinson. Any ideas to help with pain in the wrist and forearm? Yeah, Kevin, I actually did a video on technique where I talk about technique. Um, but and it's so look through my channel. It's called Technique. But the main idea, Kevin, at least for me, studying technique, is to make sure you alleviate tension. So you don't want any tension from here, from your shoulder blade, all the way to your finger. No tension. So no tension in your arm. So if you're holding your arm above the keys while you play, and if you're doing stuff like this, no, no, no. You want it to be no tension. You want your arm to kind of. So if this is the piano keys here, you want. Let me see. It's hard. So you want to be coming. You want your seat high enough so that you're either just So you're coming into the key this way, or not so high like this, but from flat to about right there. So you want to be high enough on a piano stool. So you don't want to sit like this. You don't want any tension anywhere. I went through a period where I couldn't play because I had so much pain from doing bad technique. I was trying to emulate some of the guys I heard and admired, and so I thought I was playing like them, but really I wasn't, and it was really bad technique. Uh, Braxton said tips for playing behind a pastor. Uh, Listen really well. Um, Listen to what they're trying to where he or she wants to go. Um, um, and then lead through the transitions and give them the backing they need. So sometimes you'll lead, sometimes you'll follow. In following or playing behind somebody or accompanying someone, there are times you take the lead, and then sometimes you sit back and follow. So you don't always want to be in the lead, and you're not always following all the time, because that's not fun too for a singer if you're always behind them. Like Jehovah is your name. Like it's like get in front of me sometimes. Jehovah, your name. Oh. Okay, those are my tips. Any more questions? Okay, well, let me erase this. Alright, someone says, Caleb says they agree with Kevin about having pain too. So you want to alleviate. You don't want to have any tension um, anywhere from your shoulder blade. The only tension would be it's part of your finger touching the piano. So if you can't sit there and go, and your arm feel like a noodle, like somebody walked by and grab your arm and it's like a noodle. If you're like making a muscle while you're playing, like doing stuff like that, you got your shoulders up. You need to stop and relax. Sorry, I think I hit my mic. Yeah. So you want to be relaxed at all times, and your hands relaxed on the piano. And the only tension is in the finger that's playing, where it touches the piano. If you're tense, then stop. And if you're holding your hands above the piano like this, I used to play like this, like like with my hand, my wrist bent like that, like this, instead of instead of coming down into the piano like this. I used to be like this because I thought that's how the guys were playing. I used to be really close up on the piano, and I used to play like this, like like that. That's what I used to play. That's hard to even do now because I've gone away from that for so long. But yeah, okay. So all right, one thing I've been mentioning, and I'll share just a little bit. I won't go into depth any, not too much depth, but one thing I've been sharing about, and I've been telling you that it's coming, is our membership site. Someone asked last week. Someone asked last week about what's offered in the site, and I want to just give you a quick little graphic. I'll just share this with you all about what we're going to be offering in the membership site. You're definitely going to want to be part of it, and it's coming soon. As I said, it's taken me longer than I thought. Uh, I've been adding more and more and doing more and more work and to it. But here's what we have. Here's what's going to be in the membership site. So I'm giving you a sneak preview, right? All right. All right. So I'll start at the top here. So we have the plan for your improvement. So I'm gonna walk you through different plans for how to improve. I'm gonna actually meet with you individually and walk you through a plan. So if you join our membership site, you get a chance to sit down with me and we'll walk through a plan. I have technique work in here for you. A lot of technique work, stuff you haven't seen before. I don't want to go into super detail yet, so I'm gonna save it. Language. So what this means is the stuff that makes gospel music, for example. We're gonna cover that. Repertoire is songs, different songs. We're gonna cover those. Ear training. So someone asked about how to improve your ear. Join the membership site. We're gonna help with your ear. I have a couple ear training courses actually, like um, that I'll be giving away in the membership section. Like I used to charge people for. Transcriptions, we'll be doing a lot of transcribing. You'll What's the whole theory sections, sight reading. So if you don't know how to even read music, we're going to help you. Um, the musician mentality. Um, really 80-90% of playing this music is how you think. So we want to make sure you're thinking properly as well. So that we have some resources for you there as well. So there's a lot we're covering in the membership section. So and it's coming soon. So I know I keep saying it. I just want to make sure y'all know. So make sure you're part of our community because we're going to make some announcements and offer. There's a clue. We'll be offering. I won't finish anymore. But yeah. So those are the 9 areas of musicianship that we'll be covering in the membership section. So you definitely want to be a part of that. It's going to be phenomenal. And it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. So so that's as I say, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? All right, let me take this off the screen. All right. Martell. Hey Martell, how's it going? Glad to see you on. Let's see. Now, let me see. Is Martell let me see. There is a young man, I think, who's in the islands, maybe Jamaica. He's young, maybe 15, 16, who was playing some of the ideas that I've demonstrated and playing them like really, really well. Martell, was that you? Was that you, Martell? All right. Clifford says, "How to improve my ears more?" Join our membership site. But besides that, transcribe, transcribe stuff. That'll improve your ears. How do I start to apply the extras to my playing? Just do it. So Ebenezer wants to know how do I start to apply 11s, 13s, and the extras to my playing. And the short of it is just do it and see what you like. Just do it and see if you like the sound. Yep, that was you. Yeah, I was on Instagram. So Martel is a young man that is uh, really working and becoming a really good musician. Keep going. All right. I think that's it, Martel MJ Keys. Yeah, I think that's okay. You're 19. Sorry, I got the age wrong. You look young. Yeah, that's you. That's you. Okay, y'all. Well, thanks for being on, Martel. Uh, Kevin, Carl, Braxton, thanks for being on. Keith Wilson, thanks for being on. Clifford, John, John Tay, 12 Keys, thanks for being on. So I think that's all. I don't think you have any more questions. I don't think there are any more. Well, listen, thank you all so much. Make sure you're part of our communities. Make sure you put your name in our sign up on our email list so I can contact you and share with you some of these important updates. So I'm excited to share those with you all. Um, is there anything else? I feel like there's more I'm missing, and I don't want to get off. Let's see. Martel says, I just want to say your channel has helped me a lot. Keep pushing out more. I hear you, Martel. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. All right, Enoch, thanks for being on. Okay. Shayla, thanks for being on. Let's see, is there anything more? Yes, so lastly, let me know the videos you would like to see me make. I definitely want to make the materials and videos that you want to see. So let me know those in the chat or the chat box or in the comments below. So let me know so I can make those for you. Make sure you, if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel, and definitely like our channel. So hit the like button. Yeah, Mike, make sure you subscribe so you get the notification when we first go live. So make sure and everyone hit the like button. So it helps push our channel, helps us grow our channel. All right. Well, I think that's it for me today. Thank you all so much for being on and sticking to the end. Wow, y'all are troopers. And so until the next time, be blessed and happy practicing.